What's up, y'all? This your girl Jay Renee with Prison Ride Radio. I hope that you're doing well. This afternoon, we got a brother on the phone by the name of Elex Murphy, and he says that he's wrongfully convicted. Okay, so we're going to give him a chance to talk about his case and present his evidence and his words to us so we can get deeper into what happened with him. All right. Hello?
Hello?
All right, glad you can make it back. We've been trying to get this done a couple of times, but here we are now.
Yeah, it's finally done.
Right. All right. So we're gonna jump right into it. Tell the people a little bit about yourself and where you from.
Well, my name is Elex Murphy. Fell out of St. Louis, Missouri. You know, a little bit about my life, man. You know, I grew up I was a systematic child, in and out of foster families, group homes, mental health hospitals. You know, I was abused by my stepfather. You know, and my life kind of been on an up and down spiel as far as that route goes. You know, but I was always a school going person. Always try to keep a head on my shoulders. You know, stay clear of anything that could lead me into a position that I am in now. You know, that's why I really didn't want to allow my environment to have a major impact on me. So I chose something a little different. But you know, as time moved forward, I kind of started getting myself all the way back to who I am. You know, and I was released from the ward of the state, and I started getting myself together. You know, I had a little job going. I was on my way to go to school. I was playing a little sports and stuff. And unfortunately, the turn of events had happened to where I'm currently incarcerated for something I did not do. You know, it was mistaken identity.
All right. So you say that it's a mistaken identity. So tell everybody, why are you currently sitting in prison? What was it that they charged you with?
Well, I was currently charged with murder in the second degree, assault first degree, and 2 counts on criminal action. And they gave me life plus 25 years. The possibility of my parole is 2056.
Okay. And so let's get back to this mistaken identity. So you have an alibi of where you were that evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Was your alibi ever presented in court for you?
No, my alibi was never presented in court because the prosecutor failed to bring the alibi because she felt as if the alibi was insignificant to anything that was dealing with me. And it's in black and white that my alibi even talked to my lawyer investigator and even let her know that she was a prison when this happened and I was never there.
Right. So what did your lawyer have to say about that?
My lawyer subpoenaed her to come to court. You know, to come to my 2915 evidentiary hearing, but she never showed. So by her having no appearance, the judge has the right to either grant a continuance to your case or dismiss your case. And in my regard, it was dismissed.
Okay. So I know you was telling me about it was DNA evidence on the victim, and it wasn't your DNA evidence. But I know you was telling me that a new revelation has come about. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, was the guy came to court, and he was the one that tested all the DNA samples that they had from the crime scene. And when he got on the stand, he said that I was excluded. Mr. Elex Murphy is excluded from all DNA samples, and he also referenced that they had sample as to an unknown male who was the main contributor to all DNA samples. Now, he was the first suspect ever in this case, and I truly feel in my heart that he had something to do with this case, and the unknown male DNA belongs to him. Because when you look at my courts and my trial transcripts and everything, his name is the primary suspect, and he told the police officers that it was me. So by me being of the age and look as if I'm this tough guy, bad guy, I was incarcerated. Now, the new thing that I just came across is I had got in contact with somebody that was from his community, and they asked him if he could sign an affidavit, which he agreed.
All right, so let's go back with your alibi, okay? So where were you
Yes,
on
ma'am.
that? Where were you on that day?
Well, on that day the murder happened, I was currently at a house party. You know, and the house party was like a 24-hour party. So from the 15th to the 16th, I was just located at this house. Now, the house is literally right next to where the murder happened at. Now, I didn't end up leaving the apartment until 11 or 12 o'clock that next day. You know, and once I left the apartment, that's when I seen the cops and the yellow tape and all them things, you know what I'm saying, to indicate that it was a murder. You know what I'm saying? The murder had happened. And not only was Keela Ebenhart an alibi witness, I also had Sylvester Hill and Tuffy Bland, who are the owners of this apartment that we was at. Mm-hmm. And they also could verify that I was at their house when this event took place. Okay. And the prosecutor failed to endorse every single one of them.
So let me give us like a little more knowledge on that, because you have this evidence and you said that the prosecutor didn't endorse it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Basically the prosecutor acted as if she missed it, and she went to the judge and asked the judge what was it that was said, and the judge told her what was said, and that's when the prosecutor came back told them that it has no significance in court. And my lawyer objected to it, like, how does it have no significance in court if these are people who are saying that they could say that they seen Murphy and he was hurt and he had nothing to do with it. Right. You know, and the judge was going back and forth with the prosecutor, and they ruled in the prosecutor's favor. Just keep going without introducing that aspect to my case, just as well as the DNA. The prosecutor said in the court setting that DNA was important. You know what I'm saying? And my lawyer objected to that as well and asked her, how can DNA be unimportant? You know what I'm saying? When with a murder case, you have to have DNA. Basically, with any crime, DNA has to be included. And she steadily just blanked out every single strong factor in my case that proved my innocence.
That's crazy. And the judge just was allowing for this not to be admissible for jurors to hear this. So
yeah, because she go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, no. Go ahead, what you was gonna say.
No, because the prosecutor that I had, she had to step down. They fired her because this is something that she's been doing with not just my case, with everybody's case. She was withholding evidence from so many different people's cases, so they finally end up catching her up in her bull stuff, and they end up firing her. You know what I'm saying? So this was a crooked judge working with a crooked prosecutor. Crooked prosecutor working with a judge, and that stuff caught up to her. You know, and she ended up stepping down. That's when Kim Warner stepped up as the head prosecutor attorney of St. Louis.
Okay, and what's this prosecutor's name?
Her name is I want to say is Jennifer Joyce or Christine Kerr.
Okay.
I'm looking at my paperwork right now.
Okay.
I want to say it's Christine Kerr though.
Okay.
Hold on, give me. I know the judge's name was Judge Thomas J. Frawley.
Okay. You looking at your transcript?
I'm gonna find. Yeah, I'm looking at my paperwork right now to see if I can find her name.
Okay.
Once I find it, I'll let you know.
Okay. So when it came to your court, you had the victim's wife that ID'd you, correct?
I had what?
When you came to court, the evidence that they used, despite all this other evidence, was being ID'd from the witness.
That's it.
Did you ever do? Go ahead.
It wasn't even a real our identity, because when you look at her statement inside my legal work, she states that she recognized me from a facial expression I had on my face during a photo lineup. Then she go back and retake that statement to say that the guy that she recognized me because I had her on my head. Now, I always had a low cut. I never grew her before. You know what I'm saying? Then she retook that statement and said that she didn't see nobody because she stepped behind her husband and put her head down when she seen the 4 individuals approaching him. That's too many different statements. So I know for a fact that she was coerced into picking me out of a photo spread and a physical lineup because she wore glasses. And she was in the hospital because when she got attacked, her glasses got broken, cut her eye. It fractured the bone underneath her eye, which is called the orbital bone or something like that. So she was unable to see. So you taking these pictures to her, how can she identify somebody when first she's unable to see due to her wearing glasses? Secondly, she took away so many statements. If I'm that person, it takes one statement for you to identify me, not 2 or 3 of them.
And you have all of this paperwork, right?
I have everything in black and white in my cell right now.
Okay. Do you currently have legal representation?
As of right now, I tried reaching out to certain innocent projects.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had any response back. So currently at this time, no, ma'am.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
When it comes to like a lawyer, would you have to, are you looking for a pro bono one, or would you be able to pay for one?
I mean, as of right now, pro bono is currently the route I would have to go.
Okay.
Because my financial situation, it's not up to par, but I mean, it'll take me probably a couple years to get the actual money I need me a lawyer.
Right.
But I have to go pro bono as of right now.
All right, we're gonna put out that you're gonna looking for a pro bono lawyer. So is there anything else that you think that we should know about this, bro, that is in support of your innocence and things like that?
Hey, you out there? Yes.
Say that again.
Oh, okay. Her name is Christine Marie Curb. She's assistant circuit attorney.
And she stepped down because she had a history of holding back evidence. That's the one you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's crazy. Do you know if anyone else that she done that to has been able to get out? Or are they still fighting?
I don't know. I haven't ran across anybody that had her on her case, but I'm pretty sure some people had to get out due to her recklessness with the law. I'm pretty sure they had to overturn some people's cases because once Kim Warner came into office, Kim Warner started this CIU, which is a crime investigator unit. You know what I'm saying? So people who was wrongfully convicted or had some kind of mishap within their cases, you know what I'm saying? You could fill out this application and send it in to her, and she'll have her legal team reevaluate certain people's cases. I filled out a form back in 2019, and I sent her correspondence along with this application, but I haven't heard nothing back. And I heard recently that Kim Warner just stepped down.
Okay. Is there anything else that you think that the people should know that's important with their case and that could help showcase more of your innocence?
The more I can say is that it's in black and white, and they have a video. They have this video, and they say that they see me on this video. And this was one of the things that the prosecutor was adamant about. I'm on this video. However, when they play the video, you don't see anything on this video. All you see is a bunch of black dots rolling around. And there was 4 people that committed this murder, 2 females and 2 males. You know what I'm saying? Their DNA which doesn't belong to me. You know, and I have alibi witnesses that's saying that I wasn't there, and I was with them. So how can somebody be guilty when all of these things is pointing to a mistaken identity aspect? This case was about outrage, anger, because it was a Vietnamese couple. So they looked at it as a hate crime. They wanted to make an example out of somebody quick. So I got the butt end of it. You know what I'm saying? And since I've lost out in trial, I've been filing appeals. I got my ACAs dropped because they overcharged me. First of all, I got both of them. I meant to say that too. I won one of my appeals. I got because they charged on criminal action, and under the Missouri Criminal Code, on criminal action was never intended to be a hands rather, it was never to be a dangerous instrument. So I got them 2 charges dropped. You know what I'm saying? But it was just the oversense, and the prosecutor was looking for so many different outlets to stack up against it because she didn't have anything. Like I had a cellmate who turned state evidence. He wrote the prosecutor line just to get his time cut in half just for my case. She even called somebody that wasn't a part of the case. It was a people by the name of, I don't want to disrespect, but it was a Catholic person. I think she's Catholic. By the name of Sister Virginia Bing, and she came to testify at my trial, and she was nowhere present when this attack happened. She didn't know the victims, none of that. She just lived in the neighborhood. She didn't even witness the attack happen, and the prosecutor still allowed this woman to come to court and testify. Only thing she was doing was overly inflaming the juror. You know, then they made it to where they didn't allow me. I'm on the phone, bro. All right, bro. They didn't allow me to have the right juror. They gave me an all-white juror. You know, they struck the black people for some of the same reasons as the white people had. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a dude by the name of Willie Lattimore. If I recollect correctly, he failed to come forth with a previous conviction or something like that, and it was a white woman who did the same thing. So instead of the prosecutor striking both of them, she only took her strike and struck the black guy, and still let the white woman get on stand. And they didn't allow me to testify. I wanted to testify. They didn't allow me to testify. It's so many elements within my case that prove my innocence. Anybody can read this and see that everything is in black and white.
So tell the people how they can write you in support, reach out to you, and find out more.
Okay, the mailing address, you have to put my name, which is, once again, Elex, E-L-E-A, Murphy, M-U-R-P-H-Y, DOC number 1255130, and right underneath that you put C.O Digital Mailing Center, MDOC, JCCC, 3 C's, P.O. Box 25678, Tampa, Florida, zip code 33622, 5678.